Well, good afternoon. I'm Martin Tyner with the Southwest Wildlife Foundation, and we're doing a little bit of a live podcast because we're doing some experimenting. We're trying to get this to work better for us, and so we can bring more live content to you. And so I'm just kind of doing a little experimenting. We've got my technician is running things for us, and we're going to experiment with captions and videos and just all sorts of silly stuff until we get all the bugs worked out. But this will be our very first. This is for this particular time. This is our a beginning podcast. We're open to the public. So if anybody out there would like to comment, you're certainly welcome to do so. We're coming right here from my home in Cedar City, Utah, and if you have questions for me or my beautiful wife Susan is across the room, I don't know if she wants to come and say hi, and Cody is here on the floor doing what he does best, which is sleep.
Should we roll some video and test out?
Sure.
I will just pop in for a second and say hi.
There's Susan.
The video.
No, that's not the Cody video. But yeah, please run some Cody video so you can see the silly dog.
Okay, and so by the way, this is the Critter Web Geek. So also, please let us know if you're hearing us all okay. And we're gonna go ahead and run a little bit of video from Cody. Just to test it out, see if you do it. You should be hearing us over this. So Martin, you want to give the color commentary on Cody?
Yeah, Cody is. This was last summer, and Cody's just having a ball with the sprinklers. He loves the sprinklers. The color that you see on him, it's mostly gone, but for a while there we had a rainbow poodle. You know that Susan and I own a dog grooming shop, and so Cody is the poor victim of Susan's artistic experimentation.
Here. Slime mutt.
And he loves his Frisbee. That's one of his favorite toys. And so yeah, it looked like that video worked just fine. And we will be providing lots of different videos as a live and taking your questions and comments. For those of you who just accidentally just turned into us and don't know who we are a wildlife rescue organization, volunteer in Cedar City, Utah. I've been caring for sick, injured, and orphaned wildlife as a volunteer for more than 50 years. I specialize in raptors, and eagles are certainly my specialty. But we do all sorts of critters. In fact, I just got a phone call just before starting the podcast of someone that's going to drop off a little grosbeak that's injured. I don't know what's wrong with it, but we'll take the little thing in, and we have done, everything. I've rescued everything from scorpions and tarantulas on up. So if it's a native Utah critter, we will do our best to care for it and put it back in the wild.
So we have a new test here. Melinda is going to be their first. We're also trying out a new comments thing. So Melinda's going to be the first person to get her comment added to the broadcast. So she's also our first question. Are you up for that?
Hey, Melinda. You bet.
Okay. I have been wondering why the beautiful birds don't bite you.
Well, they do. I get bit almost every day. The reason I don't get bit severely is 50 years of experience handling these animals, and I know how to hold them properly and safely for not only myself, but as safely and as gently as I can for them. And they do have a tendency when they don't feel threatened, they're a little bit more calm. Not that they don't bite, because I get bit all the time, but that's the reason is just lots and lots of experience and knowledge how to handle them correctly.
Okay, we got a question from Kath. Have you got someone in training to take over when you're ready to retire? It's that.
Hey, Kath. Oh, I know. People ask me this all the time, and I'll be really, really honest with you. There is nobody on the planet that's dumb enough to do what I do for free. And that really is one of the biggest problems that we have is, we're volunteers, and to get people to be willing to dedicate their lives to caring for sick, injured, and orphaned wildlife they expect to be paid. As the foundation grows, and it is growing, and that's very exciting. It is growing. We'll be in a position where we'll be able to hire people. But and I'll be honest with you, time is short. I'm getting quite a bit older and slowing down. As far as retirement is concerned, my philosophy about retirement is I'm officially retired when they drop me in a hole 6 foot deep and throw dirt on my face. Otherwise, as long as I can move and breathe, and I'll continue to take care of the critters. But absolutely, yes, that's a major concern. Trying to get someone to step in and take a lot of the responsibility that both Susan and I have for the Wildlife Foundation. We've got a lot of volunteers, and we love them to death. But it takes a very special skill set and a very special personality. It takes a very special person to be able to actually work with wildlife. And that's a very, very hard person to find.
And
so if you know someone, give us a call.
Not me. Can we get Susan back to squeeze into the frame? Because we have a
Sue?
comment for Susan.
What?
Come here.
We need you to squeeze in. We got a comment for you.
Comment for Susan.
Hi, Susan. I am the
It's
one
okay.
that sent you that picture of the poodle dressed up as Eeyore.
Hi, Susan. I am the one that sent you the picture of the poodle dressed up as a Eeyore.
Eeyore.
I would love to see him in that costume. Oh, I'm wearing out as far as grooming, but yeah, there's so many cute, creative groomers out there. It's a lot of fun.
Well, Susan's here. Maybe we should do the baby bird video and talk about that.
Sure, let's do the baby bird video. You can tell them about the baby birds.
Me?
You. Yes, yeah. There you go.
Oh, I don't remember what kind of birds those are.
We didn't know what they were.
Oh, okay. But we have a lot of different baby birds that come in every year that we take care of. And sometimes we're just guessing when they're little. There's a few different diets we can use to feed them.
There's 5. Some kind of little venture sparrow. We don't know what kind yet. Nice woven big old nest.
Yeah, unfortunately, when they're this tiny, all the little songbirds look about the same. And so it really is a matter of letting them get older, and then we can tell if they're a house sparrow or a crown sparrow or a goldfinch or whatever. But at this age, they eat pretty much the same thing.
Eagles, huh? No, little ones get cared for too.
Yes.
Hard to see, they're so deep down in their nest. That's okay. They'll grow, and then we'll see what they are.
Okay.
Now, something a lot of people don't understand is we do throw those nests away because they're really quite buggy and dirty. That was when the babies just first came in, and then we have clean facilities with clean dog wee pads down to absorb moisture, and heat lights and heat pads and all the things we need to raise them from literally little tiny day old up to full grown and flying free. So it's a long process, and we have a lot of materials that we go through in order to do that.
Okay, we've got a question from Tim Rains. He said, just started watching your videos. Thank you for the good deed and cause. What's the biggest bird you've ever saved?
The biggest bird that I have ever saved, well, that's kind of a weird story. It was an ostrich. Basically, there was a place that I worked for called Lions Unlimited, which had about 300 big cats, and they purchased a vulture, they purchased some flamingos, and they purchased some ostriches and all of those kinds of things to have at their park. And so since I was the bird guy, I was required to drive down to San Diego from north of Los Angeles in my little Toyota car to pick up, and then we had a large pickup truck with a horse trailer and things to bring the ostriches back. And the ostriches were free roaming in this about a 1 acre pen, and so we had to catch them. And the ostriches are, they're taller than I am, they weigh more than I do, and they're very, very powerful. And we would have to let the ostriches run by, grab them by the wing, try to spin them into the fence, and then jump on them, hold them down, put a sock over their head, and then three of us would walk them out of the pen and put them in the trailer. Once we got the ostriches into the trailer, one of the ostriches basically figured it could jump out of the trailer because it didn't have a top on it, and so for which it did. And so here we are in San Diego, in a community along the foothills, trying to run down literally a wild ostrich to recapture it, to get it back in the trailer so that it could be hauled up to Lions Unlimited. And so we were able to get it rescued and get it put back in the trailer and get the top of the trailer secured so that we didn't lose them anymore. But one of the strangest thing is we had a dozen flamingos, pink flamingos, that they had purchased as well for the park. And so we put the back seat down in my little Toyota car, and I had a dozen flamingos sitting in the back on the back seat of the car. And so we're going down the freeway, and I'm following the pickup truck with the ostriches in it in my little Toyota car. And people are looking at me, giving me the strangest looks because I have a dozen flamingo heads up like this, looking around, watching the cars go by. Almost caused an accident on the freeway with people slamming on the brakes to look at the flamingos in the back of my car. But fortunately, we got them all up to Lions Unlimited and got them unloaded and got them secured, and everything was fine. The whole process took about 20 hours from the time I left to the time I got back, and I was beat up, I was bloody, my clothes were shredded, and this is when Susan and I were dating. And when I arrived, Susan took one look at me, and she thought I was had been in a war.
Yep, it's like, you've been in a battle or what? Your clothes are torn, you're bloody, you're dirty, you're just a mess.
I gave Susan plenty of opportunity to back out and not marry me. She did anyway, and we've been married for 43 years, and she's truly the love of my life. So, it's nice to have a sweet, beautiful young lady to put up with me.
Well, we can send some thanks. We just got a super chat from Ashley. She says, "Hi, Martin, Susan, and DG. I hope you are both well. Thank you, as always, for all that you do. Please stay safe and healthy. Love from Buffalo."
Thank you, Ashley. That's very, very sweet of you. We so appreciate. It's you guys. I take care of the critters, but I couldn't possibly do with what I do without all of you out there helping us, and it really means the world to me. So thank you so much, Ashley.
Can we show the owl scoop now?
Sure.
All right, this is a cool video, guys. Gotta watch close. We'll probably back up. Okay, so we back up and you can take us through it?
Yeah, let me kind of explain what's going on here. It's 11 o'clock at night. This is Main Street in Cedar City, Utah. And I got called by police dispatch that there was an owl that was hit by a car. Great horned owl is what it was. And it was right there in the middle of the road. There's traffic going back and forth. The police have got their warning lights on. They're trying to slow traffic down. There is traffic coming very, very quickly, and so I need to get to that owl and get it off the road before the car that's coming runs over it. So I'm waving at the car, trying to get the car to pull over, and then I give up and I just do a scoop and run to get the off the road. Unfortunately, the injuries were incredibly severe, and it wasn't savable.
Unconscious. He's unconscious. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, little girl, we got you.
Oh, she got hit bad.
She did.
Here.
Okay. We'll take care of her.
Okay, appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for calling. With your
I just happened to be down at the DNR office there dropping some evidence off, and but they called you first, I guess. So I'd been up to Indian Peaks, so I think they didn't realize I was as close as I was. So.
Oh, good. Well, like you know, on call 24/7.
Yeah, well, appreciate you coming out.
Okay, back to live.
So anyway, it was very sad. The injuries were far too severe, and we couldn't save it. But we stopped her from getting run over again, and so that's pretty much my life. Is like I said, on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it doesn't matter what kind of animal. If it's native wildlife, we do our best to help it. There's just some that you just can't, and unfortunately, it breaks my heart. But that's usually videos we don't shoot because when I get called out at midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever, it's usually it's obviously it's an emergency. I've got to go really fast, and I just don't think about having someone videotape it. But Susan got out of bed. Bless her heart, and she grabbed the cell phone and shot the video while I did that. That kind of rescue happens many times a year.
So we've got a comment, this one from Felipe. He said, "Hello, I just wanted to tell you I like the love and passion for birds of prey. I have learned a lot from you. I birdwatch."
Hey, Felipe, thank you. That's the whole reason that we do the videos, is to share, my little bit of experience and my little effort to make the world a better place. And if you get something out of the videos, and education is by far one of the most important things that I do. And so thank you so much. I appreciate it.
There's another comment from Elizabeth. She says, "Hi, Martin. So sad. Love your work. Being an RN seems similar."
Well, it actually really is very similar, though I have a little wider variety of patients. And just so you understand, my daughter is an RN. My daughter, Vicky, is a nurse at the local hospital here. She's an RN, labor and delivery mostly. But because of the coronavirus, they're cross-training everybody to basically be able to step into several different areas of the hospital. And so my poor daughter has been working these horrible hours, and we love her to death. She is truly one of the most amazing human beings that I've ever met. Is my sweet daughter Vicky, and I rescue critters, but she rescues humans, and so she's truly amazing. Yes, my Susan says thank you to all the doctors, the nurses, the first responders, all of you guys that are out there on the front line. You have my undying gratitude and my deepest respect for everything that you guys do. It really, without you, this pandemic would be far worse than it is, and it really is horrible. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate you're willing to work and sacrifice for me and for all of us.
So we were going to come in, sneak in for 20 minutes, and we've done our 20 minutes. So do we want to try anything else or answer more questions, or what would you like to do?
If people have some more questions, that's fine. If there's some other tests that you want to do, DG, that's what this particular little podcast is about, is just making sure that this new software and stuff works for us. And if it's working for everybody, please let us know if this is working out. If the picture's good, the sound's good, please let us know.
Well, there is one thing I'd like to throw out, which we've got the address below. The software we're using is called Ecamm. And as you can see, we can now incorporate comments and video and things like that. We can also have guests. So if you have any ideas or suggestions, you're always welcome to send them to info@gowildlife.org, because we certainly want to make the best out of our new toy. And speaking of comments, we just got a donation and a comment from JJK.
Hey, JJ.
I just watched a video of you giving a speech at some conference. You described getting hit by your falcon who was in a dive. He went for your arm versus his toy. You said he knocked you out. Was that figuratively or literally?
Okay, that wasn't my falcon. That was my golden eagle. My falcons are quite a bit smaller, but the eagles are extremely large. And this was my golden eagle. And basically, he was out flying. He was soaring the ridges north of town, up 1,000, 2,000 feet. And it was time to go home. And so I have a toy for him. It's called a lure. It's kind of a leather sack that you tie some food onto. And I will blow my whistle, throw his toy out of the ground, and my eagle will dive vertically at about 200 or about 150 miles an hour. And he will hit the leather sack, which is convenient. Well, on this particular day, he got a little confused because he's also used to flying back and landing my arm for food as well. And so a couple of 1,000 feet in the sky, no rabbits to be found, time to go home, blow my whistle, throw his toy out on the ground, and my eagle goes into this wonderful dive, headlong, vertical, 145, 150 miles an hour. But it became very, very obvious he wasn't attacking the lure. He was actually coming for my arm. When I woke up, I was 6 feet back, laying face down in the dirt, with my eagle standing next to me, looking down at me to say, "Why are you laying there?" He dislocated my shoulder and damaged my back and knees. But see, that experience has given me knowledge. I have a knowledge that none of you have. I have an absolute knowledge of exactly what is going through the mind of a jackrabbit just before an eagle kills him. I don't recommend it, but it's mine. And so that's the story that you had heard me talk about. And when you're working with wild animals, anytime you get hurt, it's your fault. Wasn't the eagle's fault. It was my fault. I chose a life of working and caring for sick, injured, and orphaned wild animals. And so anytime I get injured, it was my choice and it was my fault. So you can't blame the eagle for that.
Okay, on that note, are you ready to sign out?
Sure. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate you. You guys have been wonderful. We will try to do a lot more of these. I will have, for most of these, I'll have one of my wildlife ambassadors with me as well. But like I said, this was just a test run. And I hope you guys are, please stay safe, stay healthy. Have a great Thanksgiving, and give a hug to your closest families. In a COVID responsible way. The holiday seasons it's very, very important to let everybody know that how much you love them and care for them.
And maybe we should mention that we hope to be back as a promoted live stream on December 9th.
Yes, DG has twisted my arm, and December 9th is my birthday. And so on December 9th, we're going to do another live podcast, kind of celebrate my birthday with all of you, just kind of sit around and visit and talk about the critters. And I'll have some wildlife ambassadors with me for everyone to see, answer all of your questions. And so please come back on December 9th and celebrate my birthday with me. I'll be 65, if you can believe that. I'm 65 years old, and so I'll be 65. So it's kind of a big deal, and I would love all of you to drop by and just say hi. So we'll see you then, okay?